Concern from some Wake County parents over where their kids may go to school next year. New at 7, we'll explain their 4 main problems with the district's new plan.
State Fair is only a couple of days away, but the work is already underway to make sure rides like this are safe for you and your family.
The sunshine and clear skies have an expiration date. When our next cold front arrives, it brings clouds, rain, and a drop in temperatures you will feel.
Then, from debris removal to the Salvation Army's response, we go into the in-depth mailbag to answer your Helene Relief questions. We got 4 new schools joining Wake County School District in the next year. The question is, which students will go there? Which students will leave the schools they're at now and go somewhere new next year? Thank you for joining us here at 7 o'clock. I'm Dan Haggerty.
And I'm Ashley Rowe. These schools in Apex and Fuquay-Varina will help the district address its overcrowding problem. They call it a school enrollment plan.
It's going to be a lot of big changes, though, for a ton of different families. They told WRL's Destiny Patterson they're a little worried about proximity to the school, transportation, getting their kids there, and keeping siblings from getting split up.
Ken Butler wanted his kids to live near a good school, Olive Chapel Elementary.
So that we wouldn't get displaced.
But now that possibility is up in the air. The district will shift thousands of Wake County students around to accommodate 4 new schools, plus an expanded Bockham Elementary.
Overcrowding and continued overcrowding.
They won't be able to go to the school that they've lived next to their entire lives.
It would mean a 2-mile difference for the kids in Ken Butler and Caitlin Tretter's Apex neighborhood. And a different academic calendar. Tretter started a petition to fight the change.
We are trying to keep our community together, keep our kids together.
Tonight, district leaders took note, recommending that most students get the option to stay at Olive Chapel Elementary School. They're considering other feedback as well after spending weeks hearing feedback from the community.
Making 5 specific recommended adjustments based on the feedback we've heard from the community.
And there could be more. Destiny Patterson, WRL News, Wake County.
Part of growing pains, it certainly affects some families more than others. You can also share your thoughts on the Wake County Schools website if you have some. A public hearing is going to be scheduled again for November 12th.
This is Brian Schrader in the WRAL Live Center with breaking news out of Asheville. Good news, they are starting to get more customers back online on the water grid. Take a look at this post from X. Lady says after 18 days, we just got water in West Asheville. It's not drinkable, she says, but we will take it. This is some new evidence coming in from the city of Asheville government where they're putting new water mains down in the Hall Creek Junction area. Downtown and South Asheville got water yesterday, and they are hoping that the northern parts of Asheville will get water at some point today. We're coming up now on almost 3 weeks that people in Asheville, many of them, have been without water.
Huge update there. It has been a busy day in the news, so let's go through some of the big local headlines. Here are 5 things you should know right now. Investigators in Fayetteville want to find this man, 42-year-old Desmond Moore. They want to ask him questions about 2 men found dead on a property in Cumberland County. Sky 5 flew over the scene today on Yarborough Road. We know one of the men was found dead in a truck, the other on the ground near a tree. Investigators say this was an isolated incident and the public is not in danger. 16 people face federal charges connected to a motorcycle gang rivalry stretching from Raleigh to Fayetteville. The rivalry led to the shooting death of Jonas Padilla on New Year's Day 2023. He was a member of a biker gang called the Pagans. 16 members of a rival gang, the Hells Angels, now face charges connected to that crime. A handful also face charges connected to a parking lot fight in Fayetteville that led to a separate man's death. The family of a little girl killed at the Raleigh Christmas parade 2 years ago is now suing the city of Raleigh and 2 employees. It was filed late last week. Haley Brooks was 11 years old dancing in the parade when Landon Glass lost control of his truck and hit her. The lawsuit states there were no crowd managers, no emergency plans, or vehicle inspections. We reached out to the city of Raleigh. They say they do not comment on pending litigation.
Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson filed a lawsuit against CNN today. He says the network defamed him. He wants $50 million in damages. In September, CNN reported that Robinson allegedly made offensive posts years ago on a porn website. Robinson denies this. CNN declined to comment. No word yet if or when that case could go to trial. You may soon be allowed to sip and stroll in Raleigh's Village District. City Council is looking into making it one of those social districts. They talked about the idea in a meeting today, but they didn't make any final decision. The social district would include the area of Smallwood Drive to Clark Avenue. There's the map. It would be open at 10 a.m. and end at 10 or 11 p.m. depending on the day. The proposed start date is January 1st of 2025. Of course, we'll let you know when they make a final vote. While companies like Apple and VinFast have hit pause on the triangle, Wolfspeed is, well, full speed ahead. The semiconductor manufacturer just got $750 million in federal funding. It all comes from the CHIPS Act, which passed in 2022. Wolfspeed's facility in Siler City could have 1,800 people working there in just a few months. CEO Greg Lowe told WRAL one of the big reasons they got the funding is because of the location.
When the CHIPS office came for their first set of visits, they talked a lot about, hey, workforce development is going to be important. And we showed them what we were already doing, work with community colleges, work with Wake County, Chatham County, Durham Tech, the various different technical schools too.
Lowe also mentioned a big selling point was how close the plant was going to be to NC&T University in Greensboro. He says that the Siler City plant is on time and currently on budget.
Well, the North Carolina State Fair starts on Thursday. Are you planning on going? 1 million people are expected to hit the fairgrounds over an 11-day stretch. But before any of us get to ride the Ferris wheel or hit the Super Himalaya, or work up the courage to ride the Gravitron, a group of safety inspectors go first. WRAL's Sean Gallagher takes us behind the scenes.
Department of Labor crews have been here for over a month, meticulously going over every inch of every single ride here at State Fair, so you and your family can feel safe getting on rides like the Ferris wheel.
Welcome to the Giant Wheel.
There's no question what everyone's top ride is at State Fair.
I would probably say the Ferris wheel.
The Ferris wheel. Yeah, it's my favorite part.
The question on rides pop up when you go deeper into the state fairgrounds.
Anything that goes upside down, like fully, I'm a little bit like,
Hesitation hopefully halted by inspection.
It's quite a bit that goes into a ride inspection.
About a dozen state inspectors tackle more than 90 rides at State Fair, checking every screw,
these pins,
every bolt,
taking apart, put back together,
every connection.
We're looking for the structural integrity
on every ride.
Out here, we've had 94 rides that we're inspecting. It is quite a process.
A critical process because about 11 years ago, 5 people were seriously injured on the Vortex at State Fair. Investigators found a safety mechanism designed to keep the ride from moving had been disabled.
How did that moment in 2013 change how you guys go about inspecting rides?
Really, I wouldn't say there has been any changes. We've always inspected the rides thoroughly, and we use instances like that as a learning experience.
Because come Thursday, it won't just be community members on these rides.
I bring my own family out here. I have a son and daughter and wife, and we ride the rides ourselves.
And the inspections don't stop just because the Department of Labor is done. Every single day, the operators of these rides need to verify that these rides work in good order to make sure they can work for the day. Sean Gallagher, WRAL News at the State Fairgrounds.
You can find a full list of rides, new food, and information about tickets and parking in our State Fair guide. Just search State Fair on WRAL.com.
I hope we can get Sean out of that seat he was sitting in. He looked jammed in, man. Hey, we got a lot of emails about last week's in-depth segment on the Helene relief response. I mean, a lot, dozens and dozens and dozens of email. You gave your feedback, you asked your questions, things like, where does all the debris go? What's up with the Salvation Army? What are they up to? And how do we divvy up the WRAL CARES money? After the break, we're going to get you some answers. Kat?
We've got some light rain falling in the area tonight and even some snow flurries off to the mountains. We'll have a closer look at when this rain will clear out and the cold comes rushing in coming up.
All right. right, hey, the in-depth mailbag is bursting at the seams here. So many emails came in over the last few days offering commentary, asking questions, mostly about our segment on the Helene relief response in Western North Carolina. Criticism or compliment, thank you for everybody who sent these in. Let's roll through a few of them right now. Emily said, I've written a couple of emails and just in the past and just never hit send. Keep up the insightful reporting. My husband and I will keep watching. Emily, thank you for hitting send this time. I encourage all of you to hit send. Your feedback is so important. It drives the content of this segment. Betsy hit send on this one. We watched Jeopardy at 7 and flipped to WRAL in those long commercial breaks. Your in-depth segment on Friday was the most riveting I've seen in ages. Betsy, thank you so much, and thank you for tuning in. Ken Jennings doesn't often lose, so I'll take it. Also, check us out. Next time there's like a boring, I'll take paint drying for 2000 or something, come over to us. Not everyone agrees with Betsy and Emily. Alex wrote, you suck at your job. Direct and concise. Also, just like to note, not watching Jeopardy, so I'm going to take that as a win. Thank you. I'm going to try to do a little bit better, Alex. I'll start with an answer to a few questions. We popped it up a second ago. This is from Terry. Where has all the debris gone that we saw in the river? So, Terry, this is a really great question. I think a lot of people have been wondering this. WRAL's climate change reporter, Liz McLaughlin, looked into it. She found that the state approved more than 50 temporary debris sites in Western North Carolina to help to manage all the huge amounts of debris and trash. They do this because the landfills can't take it. They're overwhelmed, but the temporary sites aren't without their own problems.
Temporary storage sites can be problematic because they are typically not lined, so there could be leakage from these materials into the underlying soils.
So she says that crews can use concrete crushers. They turn that debris into aggregate, which then can be used in the reconstruction efforts that are happening. James asked, why are you leaving out the Salvation Army in your reports? When I didn't respond to that question in about 48 hours, he wrote back, Dan, are you going to answer my question about the Salvation Army? James, thank you for writing in several times. I am sorry we didn't get back to you quickly enough, but let's answer your question right here and now. So far, the Salvation Army has served more than 52,000 meals. They've delivered 3,600 cleanup kits and provided emotional support for thousands upon thousands of people hit by Helene. In all, 99 disaster workers for the group have given more than 20,000 hours of their time in service of others. Some pictures here of the Salvation Army, the members there meeting with people in Asheville and Swannanoa. They also went to East Tennessee and Florida and South Georgia. Thousands of meals and drinks and snacks delivered to so many different people who need it really badly right now. They also have people responding to Hurricane Milton, working with the National Guard. They have more meals and support, more examples of their response to these disasters and how much they have done. We didn't, of course, intentionally leave them out of anything. There are a lot of groups, more than we can count, putting in time and energy to help, and we thank all of them. Many of you have given to your neighbors in the mountains. The WRAL Cares campaign has raised just over $937,000. That's money and care from all of you at home, so thank you. Kay, though, wanted to know how much of the collected donations go toward the Disaster Relief Fund. So it's pretty much an even split. The American Red Cross and the North Carolina Disaster Relief Fund have each received about $470,000. And WRAL doesn't decide that split. You do. When you go onto our website or when you called in during our telethon to donate, you got to pick which group you wanted your money to go to. If you want some more specifics on that, we can bring them to you. There are so many more emails and questions that we've been reading through in the inbox, so please be patient if we haven't gotten back to you. We will get to more and more as we move forward. If we miss something or you have another question or you say, Dan, give me a little bit more on that one, please email me, dan@WRAL.com. Tell me what is on your mind, and we will go in depth.
Dan, I wonder if anybody would have any questions about this comet that we can potentially see over the next couple of days. Maybe they'll email you about this. A rare comet will be visible in our area this week. This is actually a picture of it over Jordan Lake last night. It's being called the Comet of the Century, but it might be more like the Comet of the Millennium, actually. This particular comet won't be visible again for another 80,000 years. Kat, we've been lucky enough to have some clear skies over the last couple of nights. When and where will be the best time to see the comet?
Unfortunately, tonight we've got the clouds rolling in with the cold front. So tonight, isn't going to be good viewing, but you'll be able to see it in the coming nights. It's going to get later each day and dimmer. So as we head into tomorrow night, we'll have clear skies to see it. You're going to need a jacket, though, definitely, as we cool down. Just keep in mind, you're still going to want to look toward the western sky. It's going to be closer to 9 o'clock, 9:30 for the rest of the week, where you'd have the viewing still out to the west, and gradually as time goes on, it's just going to get dimmer and a little bit higher up in the sky. So keep looking for it, just not tonight. Tonight's not going to be the night with the clouds. This is a look from last night. Beautiful shot. Thank you to Austin for sharing this with you. You're going to see that tail on it, and that's the sign that it's not something you would usually necessarily see in the night sky. And don't forget, a really good meteor shower is coming up at the end of this weekend. Outside tonight, though, a lot of clouds out there, even some sprinkles trying to push into the area. The air is still pretty dry, so a lot of the rain that you even see on the radar is struggling to hit the ground. But that changes as we move into tonight. We'll continue to see this front pushing in from the northwest, and that's what's going to bring the sprinkles. We'll continue to see these showers overnight and into the early morning hours. 3 a.m., some rain still falling in a patchy fashion. As we move ahead into the morning hours, we'll watch for some showers, mainly in our eastern counties for the morning commute, and the rest of the day clears out after that. So I wouldn't expect rain to really dampen your plans tomorrow. There will be some clouds that linger, though. And then just in time for the state fair, the cold front's out of here, the sun is back, and so are the cool temperatures. We expect to see this nice fall-like chill for the fair. 62 for opening day on Thursday, 68 on Friday, 72 Saturday. No rain in the forecast after tonight for the 7 days. So great news if you're making a fair visit. For Thursday, hour by hour, we're going to be in the upper 50s as the gates open noon, 1 o'clock. Once we get to the afternoon, highs are in the lower 60s, but bring a jacket. By 8 o'clock, it's 50 degrees. And if you're staying out there late, it's going to be quite chilly, dipping into the upper 40s. For tonight, chilly, light rain. At least we're not seeing the snow that the mountains have already seen tonight. Low temperatures will be in the low to mid 40s with the light rain. And tomorrow it's partly cloudy. High temperatures really struggling to get up into the 60s. It's going to be a pretty chilly day out there tomorrow. And we will see some clouds stick with us as we head into the early afternoon hours. So just keep that in mind. Not quite as much sunshine as what we have out there today, but we'll gradually clear out by the late afternoon and evening. You'll get to see more sun, and it's those clear skies coupled with a light wind and dry air that will really allow temperatures to tumble tomorrow night. So before you head to bed tomorrow night, you see that 38, you're going to want to bring your pets inside and protect any sensitive plants that you have. And do it again Thursday night. We dip down to 38 again Friday morning. And then once we get to the weekend, we will gradually see temperatures mild out a bit. Lows are back in the 40s, I should say, for the weekend. High temperatures are back in the 70s. Next week, there are signs of a little bit of a warm up. High temperatures back in the upper 70s, but generally a dry pattern expected aside from tonight over the next week.
You were talking about bringing plants inside and that sort of thing. My husband actually just over the weekend, he got a rolling rack almost, like what people put clothes on. Yeah. And that's now his rolling rack for our outdoor plants. Yeah. So now there is a new daily thing that we do where we roll them into the garage at night and then we roll them back outside so that they can get some sunshine. I don't know if that's unnecessary commitment, but here we are.
I think it's dedication. I love it. You got it. You're going to get your life out of those plants.
It's safer to be one of your plants than one of mine. I overwater everything. Thank you, Kat. Hey, don't go anywhere. We have some answers to some questions that folks around here have been asking. Stick around. It's your one last thing in about 2 minutes.
It's time for Tech Talk. Asking explosive, hard-hitting questions at the really big deal alert desk.
This is Serious Business. I'm your host, Dan Haggerty. And this is something new we're trying. And in the hot seat tonight, my first ever guest, Ashley Rowe.
It's an honor.
Let's cut to the chase.
All right? Boy. Okay.
I want to talk about, you did an interview with a WRAL blog, Meet This Mom. It's become quite successful, by the way, on the WRAL website. It says that, you open up about family and life and motherhood. And we're going to see about that.
Okay.
Tonight.
I try to be an open book.
First question.
Oh, okay.
When asked what challenges you face in balancing your career and motherhood, you said there is no balance. Then later, you said that you and your husband ride bikes together. So, is balance a thing or not?
Are you asking?
You don't seem
if you
prepared
can
for that.
Balance a bike? Like if you can balance on a bike? Yes, I can balance on a bike. Is that
not
what
a
you're
good
asking?
answer. You should have prepared for this. So we'll cut to the important one. Okay. All right, the big one. You were asked also in that blog, which I recommend everybody reads, that do you have any serious future plans? And you said no, but I have some sources that are telling us otherwise. Care to explain a bit?
Am I your source?
You are my source. You told me this.
I told you many weeks ago, but I have not told the public, and I wasn't able to tell the public as much as I wanted to in that blog post because I needed to wait for the doctors to tell me that it was okay. But I'm sure, you at home are like, yeah, we can all see what you're about to tell me. No, I have not eaten too many tacos recently. I am expecting a new baby. Yes, thank you, a second baby. You're looking at a photo of my family right now. So Phoebe is going to be a big sister come spring of next year. I'm so excited that I can let it out. I mean, literally, like, let my belly out. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold here. But yes, let my belly out. And so I'm really excited, excited. We've been really trying for the last 2 years. So this has been super awesome for us.
We're just thrilled for you. Phoebe's going to be the best older sister.
Thank you.
And that's going to be an exciting couple of months.
Yes, no kidding. I know.
Check out that mom blog, too. That must have been fun.
It was fun to just, it was cathartic, I think. Hey, thanks for making WRAL your choice for local news. Our next newscast is at 10 on Fox 50, 11 on WRAL.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.